Bring back rock.
Hey everybody, it's Dean. Welcome to Bring Back Rock. Today I'm going to tell you about a band you might have missed back in the day. They came out at a time when high energy rock and roll really was not what you're hearing a lot of on the radio. Buckcherry was the only one that really had a lot of success at the time. They went on, had a great career. This band had one minor hit and then they kind of disappeared a little bit. So just in case you missed them, I'm going to tell you a little bit about New American Shame. Let's talk about New American Shame. There's not a ton out there on these guys, which, don't want to say it, but it's a shame. They were a high-energy, kick-ass rock and roll band that drew a lot of comparisons to AC/DC. I didn't see that quite as much. Let's just put it this way. I can see a lot of other bands that sound more like AC/DC than they do. But probably just the simple guitar riffs and the high energy probably drew the comparisons. Aerosmith was another big influence on the band. Regardless, it's a simple, kick-ass, high-energy rock and roll band that formed in Seattle in 1998. The band was Jimmy Polson on lead guitar. He is formerly of the Lemons, which was a punk outfit that released a couple albums in the early 90s. Johnny Reet, which is sometimes just credited as Johnny, on vocals. Terry Bratsch, B-R-A-T-S-C-H on guitar. Kelly Wheeler on bass, and Jeff Reading on drums. Now, he replaced Jack Stringham on drums, which I'll get to in a second. The debut self-titled album was released on Will Records in 1999 and quickly scooped up by Atlantic, who re-recorded some of the drums with Jeff Reading replacing Jeff Stringham, like I said. They released the single Under It All, which went to number 35 on the mainstream rock charts. Now, this is a time where there wasn't a ton of high-energy, kick-ass rock and roll going on. Godsmack had released their debut by now, but they weren't really. But the two bands really aren't comparable. Blink-182, the pop-punk stuff was just starting, but again, they're not in that vein either. The only band I can really think of at the time that was going on was Buckcherry, who released their debut album also in 99. They had their hit with Lit Up, and New American Shame had their minor hit with Under It All, which pretty comparable stuff. New American Shame toured the U.S. with The Cult and toured Japan, but in 2001, after the tour, they broke up, just walking away from their deal with Atlantic, giving us just one album, a true one and done. They have reunited in 2010 with Super Suckers guitarist Marty Chandler replacing Terry Bratsch. And that's really all I've got on New American Shame, which is too bad. A really good, high-energy, kick-ass rock and roll band that if you were kind of tuned out of music in the 90s, you might have missed. So check them out. Here's some music samples. I'll catch up with you at the very end.
There's a hidden meaning. The chin story's tall. It's been stacked so high when it's about to fall. It seems so misleading, misguided and wrong. It's so hard to tell sometimes what is under it all. Under it all. What you trying to tell me? Under it lie awake in the cold again. It's much too hard to admit. I found myself lighting up just when I was trying to quit. I got that taste in my mouth again. It lingers on and on, back from the grave. Just when they were sure I was gone. Now broken bones in my hands and my face. Broken bones, oh I just can't win. When that luck ran out along the roadside end, ass deep in rock and roll again.
Alright, so that's a little bit about New American Shame. You can find their album used, not very expensive. You can also find them on the streaming services. So go check them out there. Let me know in the comments if you knew about them back in the day or if you missed them and what you thought about them. Thanks again for watching, subscribing, sharing. I really appreciate you guys. And I look forward to talking to you again. Thanks for watching.